Oh, Lord have mercy. Security. We got a cold black. Cold black.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm...
Oh yeah, Black Animation Appreciation Month, baby. Y'all know what time it is. That time of the year, we as black folk get to celebrate our powers. Even though we celebrate all year round anyway, but get to go even harder on the shortest month of the year.
Ain't this a bitch?
Y'all should know the drill. It's that time of the year where we give back to the black people by spotlighting some of our brothers and sisters in the cartoon review community. We got a lot to get through, and we actually have some good news speaking of our sisters. I did a count, and I actually managed to find more females and also non-binaries this time than males, making up big time from the last few volumes. So we did it. We did it, everybody. We did it. Outstanding job. Firm handshakes all around. The first on our list is a panda named Alpha J. Well, I'm sure this is the only animal on this list. But regardless, he's been running this racket for a good while. His videos range from many different animation topics, from Mordecai being a simp to full-on retrospectives of different shows like Gumball, Chowder, and the like. He puts a strong analysis on animated media and brings a perspective on things you may not have considered. He has a good recognizable aesthetic that calls for some easy listening.
So far, character, Adore Dad, gets the spotlight to showcase his own personality, good, bad, and ugly. When taking Adorebat home, away from all of these thugs, in his own words, he tries to relate to Adorebat, saying that he could be just as fun as the people that Adorebat deems fun, but quickly retracts that statement as fast as me hitting the spacebar when playing Der Blatt, back in middle school at least.
He'll give a firm and fair critique of a show if he feels it's falling short on some subject matter.
I thought it was primarily in the middle. It didn't wow me as something I'd seen Nickelodeon putting trust in for years, but with some refining, I can see this doing decently well. I think if they leaned into the monster collecting element and really drove up the action, then we would see something a little bit more desirable to me. But Nickelodeon isn't marketing towards me, so we'll just have to see in the rating.
You should definitely give his channel a sub. You might just learn something. The next reviewer is a bit of a Descendants junkie named Harry on a Hook. She does a lot of live action affairs, but dips into animation when she sees something in particular to discuss. She'll bring up a subject that's worth discussing that some might have overlooked, like Gideon from Gravity Falls and how problematic he was.
Why did it take him the whole summer to learn consent? And I know why. Part to blame is because his parents. His parents literally gave him whatever he wanted. And the people at Gravity Falls gave him whatever he wanted, because Gravity Falls is a smaller town where everybody knows everybody. Everybody be up in everybody's business. No one in their life has ever really told Gideon no, except for Grunkle Stan. So it makes sense why Gideon's actions were the way they were, but no, I feel like Dipper and Mabel were like the first ever people his own age that put him in his place.
She has such a bubbly personality that brings your attention to her and calls for her videos to be a nice listening experience, as well as having these cool AMVs to bring a cool vibe to her channel. She has pretty chilled live streams that are nice to have going while you work. She runs her pirate ship cleanly and could definitely use more subs, so go check her out, and also check out her Patreon. The next reviewer is Anime Puff. She has a pretty chill vlog style that calls for a fairly enjoyable listening experience. She talks about certain topics that she feels should be mentioned and how they are addressed in some shows like Michael and Proud Family, and how the show handled how stereotypical he could come across.
They didn't fully flesh out Michael's character because at the end of the day, again, he's a stereotypical gay black dude who is flamboyantly gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but he is. And we don't commonly see just the masculine gay person or the gender neutral gay person when it comes to cartoons and things like that. So Michael was truly a stereotype. While the writers kind of did break that stereotype or break that mold or add humanity to the stereotype and who you call an assistie, he was still just a fashion designer and a choreographer. Stereotypical things.
She takes into account certain aspects about a show and whether it handles real world things like representation of different groups such as LGBT+ community, black people, Hispanic, Asian, and so on. She brings a strong approach to these topics and isn't afraid to get to some of the nitty and gritty of these things, especially calling out Miraculous Ladybug when they have Marinette do some extra creepy shit.
Not only was Ladybug violating Adrian's privacy and going through his stuff, but also she's defying the law when she is the law. How's she gonna defy these rules set in place that she's supposed to be protecting? How, Sway?
Adrian's desk! Adrian's video games! Adrian's bed! Adrian's scent! Look! Adrian's present!
How did she take it upon herself to violate this boy's personal privacy and to violate the law and go through his stuff? That was just completely inappropriate.
Gotta appreciate people who sees a creep and knows how to call him out. I'm just saying. You can check out her channel here. And just as well, another black reviewer who keeps up with a lot of the Miraculous Ladybug stuff is Carrie Feek. She does good analysis on Miraculous and even has some really good art to boot, so show her some support on her channel and her Twitter. Our next reviewer is a bit wayward on some things. Well, anyway, this is Wayward Waiter. They're a reviewer who has a notable way of making their videos, where some use just normal still avatars with just kind of transitions to the next pose. They use avatars with some pretty clean animations for their posing, and that's because they themselves are an animator. They make their own animations that are pretty crisp with their sense of movement and weight. They put a unique spin on their style of reviewing that does make them stand out, especially when it comes to their jokes.
And after a long wait, they released a two-parter introduction to the series. And I'm 93% sure that they delayed the show because of the negative attention it got from the interwebs. Which is understandable, you know? You gotta wait until the heat dies down. I mean, that's what I've been doing for the last 5 months.
FBI, open up!
Hey, what?
They keep things pretty funny and engaging with a chaotic spin on things that gives the channel a strong identity. They're a fun channel that you'll get some major enjoyment out of, so give them a sub. The next one on this list is one who sadly caught a body from tuberculosis, Tyler, and so I'm giving him a proper shout out. I'm talking about Large Black Male. Not that large black male. Y'all are just plain gross. I'm talking about this large black male. Damn. He's very up and coming in the game, but has been gaining a bit of traction with his work with Veritas Joe and the group they call the Down Bad Boys. Niggas are lonely, I guess. He does analysis on cartoons and what they get right about their characters.
This is one of the many times we see Muscle Man's biggest problem. That being his fear of commitment and expression. Muscle Man from the very beginning had his problems with expressing himself, as many of us tend to do. Not naming any names, you know. Wink wink, nudge nudge. Veritas. Oh!
He has a fun presentation style to his videos that can be pretty hilarious for his jokes. He's fresh blood in the game and definitely could use some support, so give him a sub when you can. Another black reviewer whose name I'm probably gonna butcher, so apologies in advance, is Aieshio. Now, she technically does more live action, but that doesn't mean she doesn't have some words of wisdom when it comes to animation. Her Magical Girl Friendship Squad video did help put a nice bit of perspective on things.
So some people didn't like how it referenced a lot of pop culture because they felt it would become dated very soon. And that's fair, but show me an adult cartoon that hasn't done that. Even ones that people praise the most do that. Like, even Futurama, a show that's set in the far future, has many pop culture references to the years in which it was made.
Now sure, it's not a show that's for me, but she brings a nice sense of perspective that I think could convince a few other people towards the show, so that's something I always can appreciate. She also discusses many other things in the television and movie space and how they handle race and African spirituality and the like. She brings a strong knowledge of these subject matters and keeps intact the subtle nuances that they need, honestly.
Well, no one had a problem with it back then. This is a phrase that gets repeated a lot when it comes time to address offensive things from the past. People who are in a position of privilege and people who are not the target of the offending piece of media love saying this. It was a product of its time. It wasn't considered offensive back then. Nobody complained back then. People are too sensitive these days. Whenever I hear this, I would get so confused, because just who are you referring to when you say nobody had a problem with this? Are you referring to your friends? Well, take a look at your friend group. Is it mostly white, mostly straight, mostly cisgendered? The reason why I get so skeptical when anyone says these things is because it implies that marginalized people in the past, as a whole, were 1, happy and fine with everything, or 2, said nothing out of fear. And that's just not true.
She also is a major Sailor Moon fanatic, so that's always something you might really enjoy about her. She shouldn't be overlooked and could use some support, so give her a sub. Here's another reviewer that keeps things pushing. His name is Cash. He's someone who can't get enough of animation, basically, and is a knight for it in some regards. When people get into some dumb shit about animation, he'll be quick to defend when it needs to be.
Toonami has always been an experiment, and it's always had heart behind it. It's also no stranger to having morally conscious messages, even when the demographics switch from kids and teens to adults. So it comes as a surprise that people are generally shocked that Toonami would talk about this. Granted, this wasn't as specific, but they had an equality speech in 2013.
He takes the medium seriously and breaks pre or misconceptions whenever they need to be broken. Like in his Toonami video when people got butthurt because they spoke out against racism. He called people out on their bullshit like they needed to be, and he ain't afraid to fight for the cause. But beyond that, he grabs your attention on things you probably weren't thinking that fondly of. Hell, this man got me to feel nostalgic for a show I didn't even watch, so you know he's got some talent to him. His videos have a good vibe about them that are calming, but pretty much help keep your attention on things. He's fresh to things, but might as well be a vet at this and very much could use some more support, so definitely check out his channel and give him a sub. The next reviewer is Jason Blade, a black Batman. Close, but less roach looking. He does good analysis of shows and what really makes them work, like in his Infinity Train video.
MT witnessed him hanging out with the deer and dressing him up. She gets really ticked for that, going on about its freedom and taking away its right to live his life. But then goes on to say,
but if he was anyone's deer, he'd be my deer, because I hung out with him longer, like 2 days.
You see this? This is a face of a hypocrite. The audacity that she preaches all this to a guy who just wants to take selfies is so incredibly dumb. Plus, she loses all that credibility of being justified by claiming she owns the deer. While I understand that this is the first episode and we need to recognize some of the character's flaws, we also do need reasons to like the character in order to root for them. And I'm sorry, being on the run from the law, no matter how unfair it is, shouldn't be the only reason.
He can really get into how a certain aspect of a series may or may not come across the best. He keeps things tight and consistent with how he presents himself with his avatar to the side while he speaks over what he's analyzing. He tackles the importance of themes from these shows and if they pulled off what they were going for. He breaks down individual episodes and points out the good, the bad, and a bit of the ugly every now and then. He has a whole collection of different videos analyzing cartoons, and you should check out his channel and support him through his Patreon. Now the next one on here is a fellow Sonic connoisseur but overall good cartoon reviewer, and that's Timothy Review Revival. He has a full collection of different reviews. Some range from well-known stuff like his Prince of Egypt video, and others range from more obscure shit like his Jacob Tutu video.
Who the fuck is—
He tackles many different topics and comes at it from the perspective of your chill friend you're chatting with and having a good conversation. Especially with his use of music, which sets a good tone for the videos, bringing a nice familiar but coziness to it.
Moses tells Hebrews to believe and they'll see God's wonders. And this is where the plays start to take place. Hey, quick talk, don't show this to Panda Strider. That dude is a hardcore atheist.
He can even dip his toes into more of the live action stuff like his life review. He's been at this for a good minute and definitely could use some support, so show him some love over on his channel. Next cartoon reviewer to watch is an otter. Yeah, at this point it's to be expected for at least one person to be an animal on these lists, but anyway, this channel is Sailboat Stoat. She covers just about anything animation related that she wants to cover and just has a fun, relaxing, chill vibe to her videos. She has a good assortment of animation related videos, from ranking all the Illumination stuff to discussing queer coding and cartoons. She also gives good thrashing to some of the more unfavorables.
I like Dick.
Wait, that was the wrong clip. She's an otter. Here's the right one.
I guess let's go through these characters in order of introduction. I figured it would be easiest to start from the beginning and work our way back, mostly because the characters become less and less like characters towards the end. By the time they reach the Northern Water Tribe, they are really just completely uninteresting. So in the beginning we see our Wait. This isn't the movie. Oh, sorry guys, my bad. I mixed this up with some footage from my local Home Depot. I guess all the planks of wood confused me. Like, what was is that even slightly amusing?
But she can get real about some stuff when the time calls for it, like her police propaganda video.
And some of the issues that exist and persist despite whether it's a cop show, detective show, regardless, is that there is a demonization of red tape and bureaucracy and the fantasy with this sort of hyper-violence. And the thing is, this violence, this force, it's usually framed as necessary. It's the only way we could get it out of him. He was about to attack us, these sort of things. So, all in all, throughout all of this, we have an uncomplicated good doing a necessary evil to combat an uncomplicated bad.
She's a fun personality that definitely deserves more attention, so go check her out. Our last but definitely not least reviewer is a tiger. I swear there's more animals in this community than I ever expected to be. We have a duck nigga, a dog, a panda, a bat, an otter, and now a tiger. But that's neither here nor there. This tiger owns the channel Artiste TB. She discusses good LGBT rep in animation like Benson and Troy from Kipo and points out when it's done pretty well, and also when it could use some slight improvements. She also calls out dumbasses on social media when they get mad at just plain nothing, like when people got mad that someone made a fake screenshot calling it ableist. Yes, that happened.
But as soon as I went to the comments and everything, people were just dogging her about how you should be using tone indicators so neurodivergent people know that this is fake, and calling her ableist and whatnot. And as an autistic person, I have to say, the fuck is wrong with you people? And the majority of the people saying this shit are either people who aren't neurodivergent or minors. Why do fucking kids have Twitter accounts? This is the problem. This is why society sucks.
She brings a fun vibe to how she talks about shows and what they're doing and what she enjoys the most about them. So you should definitely give her a sub when you can. And these ultimately are all great reviewers who you should definitely make love to their subscribe buttons. And if you're new here, you can make love to mine as well, and stay tuned because Black Animation Appreciation Month is just getting started and you don't want to miss it. But that's just a thought.